Right, so we're going to tie another one of these half Wulffs, which is an opossum wing Wulff style fly with a single post wing out the front. And this time I'm going to tie it in the colour that was spent. So I'm going to put on natural squirrel as the tail of this fly. So I'll take a bunch out of there. I'm just going to pick out a few fibres and strip out the underfluff to create my tail. I said if you want you could put that into a hair stacker and make a very square ended tail. I just prefer a slightly longer, more uneven tail. I think it's more natural looking. Now you notice I left in my tying thread. I didn't trim that off from whenever I started the fly, and you'll see the reason for that shortly. So I'm going to use this, which is natural opossum, for the wing. If you look at it, it has a white under or base to the fibres, and then a darker sort of dark chocolatey brown black tip. So we take a bunch of that. You can see it has some guard hairs here. So I'm going to pick those out because it's the shorter, slightly softer stuff that I want. And again, the very short stuff as well I'm taking out by swapping my hands. So reverse round, come to a point a couple of mil behind the eye, and then tie that in and pull it back to length, and then wrap backwards for several lengths. So now we have this butt ends of this pointing backwards, so I lift it up slightly off the hook, lay my scissors in fairly flat and cut backwards, and what that'll do is taper down the cut end. And now I take my dubbing needle, stick it into my glue, just wet that, and then wrap back over itself, and that will secure that in place. And as you can see, I have a nice even taper, no block ends on it. So the body on this one, I'm going to use my spent mix, which is natural seals for squirrel and also hare's mask mixed together, and that gives you a nice sort of natty colour. Apply that to my thread, and then starting at the rear, wrap that forward to a point a few mil behind the eye, or behind the wing, and then we'll take the thread that we had left at the start and we'll wrap that forward, and that'll create a black rib on our fly. Tie it in at the front, fold it back, and a couple of wraps across it to hold it in place. Now you want to put some sort of a spenty coloured hackle. You could use grizzle if you want. I'm going to use here a variant, a badger variant. I just want to look for a fibre in this. Okay. I'll tie that off. Then I'm just going to pull my wing up and go in front of it and put a few wraps just to raise the angle of the wing upwards. As we wrap this, I'll take a few turns in front of our wing. When I get it that bit shorter, then I'm going to swap over onto the hackle pliers. Wrap that through itself to get a nicely mixed black and badger sort of wing. Then we just wrap through in wiggly turns till we get to the front. And there we're going to make our head and finish the fly off. Now we take our super glue, pull all back, and just varnish the head with that, and the fly is finished. As you can see, it's a kind of straggly version of Wulff with the single post here, and this is actually more collapsible than your squirrel. I think it creates less resistance when the trout takes it. Now, a lot of Wulffs, whenever you see them, are very, as I said, manicured. They tamp the hairs and stuff like that there, and also the convention would probably be to have a shorter hackle than that, and maybe a denser hackle. But for me, this seems more natural to my eye and feeling, and I think if you're confident in a fly, you gotta keep it on longer and keep it in the water longer and more chance of catching a fish. So that's my version of a spent coloured half Wulff.